Hello and welcome to Laketoria Entertainment Game Reviews. I'm Kevin, and the game we're reviewing today is Detroit Being Human. For this review, I'm going to run things a little differently. I would like to introduce my righteous roommate Rika. Say hello, madam.
Hello.
With my roommate here, I'm going to go over the same 5 points that I always go over. First, we're going to talk about the reason, then we're going to talk about the story. After that, we're going to talk about the gameplay, then we're going to talk about our gripes, and finally we're going to get that rating. Now that we have all that cleared up, let's begin our review, or rather our discussion. Oh, one more thing, there's going to be spoilers, so you've been warned.
So many spoilers.
Nice view, huh? I used to come here a lot before.
Before what?
Hmm?
You said, I used to come here a lot before. Before what?
Before...
The reason. So, Rika, why did you choose this game?
Well, isn't that amusing? Actually, I chose it because you suggested it to me. You said, hey, I was watching these trailers, and I think this is the exact game that you need to play. And so I went, well, I'm not playing anything right now, except for maybe going back to Dragon Age Inquisition again.
Right.
So I decided, alright, it's time to play a game. And the rest is history.
Well, okay, I guess so, because I had no idea this game existed, and the whole reason why this game came up on my radar is I was going through the list of games I had to review next, and like you said, I did see the trailers, and I thought, well, this sounds like a Rika game. I'm gonna bring this up to her. In the beginning, I didn't have that much of a interest to the game, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure Rika will love this way more than I do. But then after you telling me, you gotta play this game, you gotta play this game, you have to play this game, and me being an avid tabletop player and a GM, I figured I have to play this game if she's telling me to do this. And now I'm like, well, damn, I love this game too. How do you not get on with this? So,
especially, like I say, if you're a tabletop gamer, if you DM even slightly or have even thought about it, I think this game hits those buttons.
Right. So I guess it's because of you that this review or discussion exists.
You're welcome. And also it's because of you that I played the game. So,
it's like this weird loop.
That way, we both have reason for this.
Right. I guess that works that way then.
Okay, here we go.
I can do that, I just don't want to. The story. What are your thoughts on this story of Detroit?
How many thoughts? All the thoughts. There's so many thoughts on this story. Do we want to start at the beginning? How do you want to tackle this?
Okay, well first just give me your overall. We'll focus in a little bit at that, but give me your overall impressions of the story in general. And I understand that this game does have multiple endings and multiple routes that you can go, and I know that
Many.
you and I just talking about the game in general, we both kind of went the same exact route, but we had little changes on how we did it, and it affected our endings altogether. So is there something in general about the story that you played through that really stood out to you that you really liked?
Well, I think one way that you should definitely mention the story. There are so many different ways to go, and everything is very much choice-oriented. One little choice that you might make at the very beginning of your game could vastly change that ending, as we both saw when we got to that ending. And I think that story-wise, you just have so many directions that you can go, so many ways you can take it, and I think everyone might even play it a little bit differently. But I liked the aspect that everything is choice-based. One of the things that I mentioned to you as I was playing through and we were discussing our story was it seems like the theme of it really is that there's always a choice. Even if you can't tell that there's a choice available, there's always a choice in multiple directions, not just the ones that you see, obviously.
Is there an example in that story that you remember where you're just like, I feel like there's nothing I can do, but you're like, this is what I'm doing because this is what's right, or this is what I need to do type thing?
I know one of the examples I brought up to you, and it's fairly early in the game, so it's not too big of a spoiler, is when you're playing as Kara, one of those three androids, and you're in the house with Todd, the adult, and Alice, the little girl that you're told to take care of.
Right.
And Todd, well, he goes through his things, and eventually works himself up, and he's going upstairs to beat Alice. And you have an option. And he's told you, as an android, he's ordered you to stay where you are. You have to stay still. You can't move. You have a choice. You have many choices as you're watching Todd work himself up and then start heading upstairs to Alice's room. And I know, at least from my playthrough, was I held still. I did as I was ordered until he started going up the stairs, and then I was like, fuck, this guy's gonna go and do something terrible to this little girl. Definitely proved himself to be that kind of a person up to that point. And so then you try to move, and now you're going against your program. You get a big choice right in that moment. I'm sure that you could just stand there and not choose to move. You could just let him do whatever. Obviously, neither of us did that, so we don't know.
We don't know what would have happened.
Because, you know, nobody's just gonna... I don't think anyone's first instinct is, yeah, let's go and let the angry man who just got himself high go beat on his little child.
Okay, and with you saying that, I feel like that big reveal that happened in the last 2 hours of the game would have been right then and there, and I'm wondering how that would affect your gameplay
Right.
and how that
You know,
would
I
affect
actually
things.
Think about that. That is a very interesting point. I mean, I'd like to say it's something we could try, but at the same time, I don't know if I could do that.
Like, I can't handle this.
Because
There's no way.
That's one big point about that story, is it feels very real. They portray the characters and they portray the story and the environment well enough that, yeah, everybody feels like a real person, and they feel like their choices matter as much as a person's choice would matter. So, going back to the game and allowing Todd to do terrible things, you would really have to fight your base instincts of, no, I need to stop him.
Right.
I need to make this not happen. So, you get to the point, like I said, everybody seems to want to save Alice, because who wouldn't? She's
Right.
8.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She's 8. So.
She's 8, she's terrified, and her father is high on ice and going to go do something terrible. Then you have that moment of choice of breaking through that programming. And in the game you find out that's what makes an android go deviant. And that's one of the points of the game is, you know, the android's going against the programming. Once you break through that, I have a feeling that you can literally do anything you want. Or at least, you know, in the confines of a game. Obviously, the both of us, we went upstairs to try and help Alice. Things changed at that point due to our own choices and gameplay. But I think you could have stayed downstairs. You could have possibly even left the house, because you were right by the front door when it happened.
Right.
There's no reason you couldn't have just walked out and been like, I'm saving myself, peace out. There's options at that point. I don't know what would have happened. Maybe there would have been something in the kitchen that you could have grabbed, like a knife. But I don't know, because that's not what I did. So
That's crazy. As you're talking about this, I'm thinking, my next playthrough, I know what I want to do with Kara now, and this is going to be pretty messed up, because I do some pretty messed up things when I play games where it's like, what's the weirdest possible outcome that I could go through to do this? And I'm like,
but yeah, I have a feeling Kara could have left, hopped on the bus herself, and pieced out. And you would have left Alice to her doom. But, you know, I don't know, because I haven't done that playthrough.
okay, no, that's fine.
Don't shoot! We need it alive!
Oh, fuck. That's insane.
Gameplay. So what did you think of the gameplay?
I think it was really clever the way that they did it. I think that it worked really well. With a story-based game like this, they had to come up with a way of running it differently than any other game. And I thought that they did an excellent job. I know that there has been some gripes about, you know, you have to do multiple button analog stick maneuvers to do a few things.
Well, I didn't find anything wrong with doing the button, or I guess the analog thumb maneuver, because it felt like a fighting game where I'm doing, oh, half circle, over, okay, this is like I'm playing a Japanese fighting game. No problem, that was all set. The thing that bothered me the most about, well, not really, it didn't really bother me, it's just they made you do stuff for mundane things. Like Marcus's story, when you're getting Carl's breakfast ready, it's like, alright, you go out, grab the tray, alright, down quarter circle. Alright, put it down, alright, hit down. Okay, now go up and get him, alright, go get him.
Right. Well, my thought on that actually was, as I was playing, is that all of those seem to be at the beginning of the game. There's
Right.
a few later on, but they're fairly natural at that point. My thought at the beginning was that you're playing, especially with Kara, you're playing a new android, and I thought of it as not knowing how to make your body work the right way. And so you have to consider, how do I do this motion so that I don't drop this tray? Well, I need to put my hands out, grab the tray, move in this direction with my hands. At least for me, that was my mental headcanon.
Okay, well, that's fine for Kara, but what about Marcus? Marcus has been there for a while, and to me, I'm just like, why can't they just be a cutscene? And then when he's eating breakfast, he goes, go out and do what you're gonna do, and I'll come get you, because I think I would have enjoyed that more with Kara. You're right, that makes more sense going, new android, alright, well, I gotta do laundry. Okay, I figured out how to do this. Okay, I gotta serve you.
Yeah, it doesn't work so well with Marcus, but at the same time, if they'd not had those little interactions, I think it would have felt more like a cutscene game.
Right.
And not something you actually interact with. Because there's only so many choices that you make when you're serving Carl. I think the first choice that you make with Marcus is you can turn the birds on, or at that point then getting to the, when he's like, go do something for a bit. And then you have a choice of, the books, the piano, the television. Oh
yeah, I was on that piano all freak. I actually played the full song. And even when Carl comes up and is like, I'm done breakfast, I'm like, no, I gotta finish this. I gotta finish this beat. I already finished this beat. I gotta finish this. And after I'm done, he's just like, alright, that's cool, whatever. Yeah, I like it when you play the piano. That's fine. That's cool. And I'm just like, yeah! Oh my god, this is awesome!
See, I had a nice discussion about Keats.
Oh, well...
So yeah, one of the other aspects that I really liked about the game was that some of your choices were timed. And not just the timing of, you have 11 minutes to get to the bus.
Right.
But some of them were like, you have to make a decision on how you're going to answer somebody. And that timer is running down. And I think that was brilliant because at that point, no choice is still a choice. And you still have to decide. Like, even if you aren't deciding, that's still a choice. That's still a decision.
So giving you a timer as you're looking through all the stuff and you see that timer going down, you're like, what do? I don't have time to doing this. Alright, I gotta go with my gut. I'm hitting this.
Exactly.
I'm going with that.
But I think that helped a lot too, that gameplay, to make those choices feel a lot more meaningful.
Right.
Because then you're like, I don't know, what's my first reaction? And you're looking at these words and you're just kind of going with one, like, this is it. Or there are definitely some times when I didn't make a choice and you're just like,
I think that happened to me when I was Kara and I was running away from Todd, and you have a choice of going out the window or going out the door, and I think when I came down there, I didn't make a decision at all, and Todd was already coming down,
right.
And I had to start a second whatever scene of me hitting X, X, O, X, as I'm trying to get away from him and doing stuff, and I'm like, yeah.
That non-choice is a choice. When you're like, if you're so overcome with indecision, you have to deal with the consequences of that now. And I thought that was actually brilliant. I know that there's people out there that probably like, this is the worst thing, I should have all the time in the world. That's not how the world works. So I thought that was an excellent addition to that. Along with, say when you're Connor in the tower towards the end of the game.
Right.
Trying to get to a certain floor. And they're like, you gotta stop this elevator and turn it around before you hit this floor. And so now your timer was the elevator, and you're like, F. Alright, I'm on the 13th floor, and I'm getting way too close. What am I gonna do? Shoot these guards. Yeah, I thought that was another really clever addition into the game to make it seem a lot more realistic than it would have been otherwise.
Okay, yeah.
No killing. We can't take any human lives.
Our cause is more important than the lives of 2 guards.
What do you want to do, Marcus? Wait here.
What's that doing here? No idea. Hey, buddy, you must be lost.
Who told you to come here?
What are you doing?
Gripes. What were your gripes with the game?
So, I think my biggest ones were that relationship with North.
Right.
Felt a little forced because it was, but at the same time, I could see sort of why they put it in there. You know, like, oh, you need a romance option, something. I think they could have made that a little bit, stretched that out a little bit more, put a little bit more into it.
Maybe give Marcus a choice at that point.
He kind of did. I think you get the choice of becoming friends or lovers.
Well, I kind of feel like you either do what North likes, and then it's like, okay, whatever, because I feel like if you keep her at, I don't know what the level is under friend, but if you keep her at neutral, I feel like that relationship doesn't happen. That's what I kind of feel like. So, and the only way you can do that is doing what she says, but I feel like there are certain options that force you to do what happens, like when you go to the, when you're invading the building,
right,
and she comes in and helps you, it's when you go and do the talk, when you're going,
oh,
hey,
the speech?
Yeah, the speech. And I think after the speech, everyone becomes your friend. I think that's what happens, because unless you're saying, hey, it's okay that we're slaves and we just did all this stuff, but I feel like after you do the speech, all your friendship levels raise.
Right, and I honestly don't know if it's possible to get to the point that they don't like you. I mean, I would have to try really hard, because I know, at least with the way that I played through with Marcus,
right,
he was pacifist, all the way pacifist. There were very few people that I actually injured with him. You know, North is a completely different mindset. She wants to, she's kill all humans mindset. I was opposed to most of the things she wanted the majority of the time, and yet I still got that lover option.
Right.
And so I don't know how you can make it work so that you and North don't get together. Marcus and North don't get together. I think that's just kind of in the books.
It has to happen.
Things like that made me kind of, that seemed like it should have been an option. That should have been a lot easier to get out of. Or if nothing else, build that relationship up more.
Give you a reason why you want to stay in a relationship with North, going, okay, I get it.
It was slightly more believable than, say, Iron Fist. So.
Why you gotta throw Iron Fist under the table like
that? Was an awful God, that was the worst. I
think my gripe with the game was the story length. The reason why is because I played through it and it took me, I looked at my timer when I finished, it was 9 hours. It took me 9 hours to do this, and I'm, not to mention my broken heart after finishing this, but on top of this, I'm thinking, well, if I actually spent the time on the game that I normally would spend time on games, I would have finished this on a Saturday. Right. On a typical Saturday, and I'm thinking, well, okay, I get it. With all those multiple endings, if I was that gamer that had to be a completionist and get everything, then it probably would have been just over 20 hours. And I feel like the first playthrough, or at least the whole story in general, should have been at least 20 hours long for what they wanted. And I'm kind of wishing they did that, but at the same time, I understand why it was, well, it's a 9-hour game, but we have all these options.
Right, there's so many options, like we saw in the flowchart. I don't think you could get a completionist in 20 hours. I think you would need at least 5 more playthroughs, which would put you at, what's 9 times 5?
45.
That would have put you at a solid 45 hours, which is a reasonable game time. So, yeah, I can understand why it's so short, just because there's so much, and you can only fit so much.
Yeah, I know.
On that physical disc or on that physical program itself. I mean, you could make this massive, massive, massive game, but who's gonna have the space to download, 300 gigabytes just to make that work? You'd have to buy a full tear just to, store this game.
I bought a terabyte, by the way.
Well, some people don't buy a lot of games.
Fair enough. Well, that's another one of my gripes, is actually the flowcharts. I like how they set it up where once you finish a chapter, it says, here's your path that you finished, here's where you could have gone. Right. And then you can compare yourself to the world and go, well, 100% of people did this, right. 60% of the people did this, and 23% of the people did this type thing. And you're like, okay, I see where I fall with that. There's another option where you compare yourself with your friend, and the thing that annoys me the most is, once you no longer line up with your friend, it just says 0%, 0%, 0%. I'm like, why can't I know what my friend did? At the very least, I understand why you can't show me what the world did, but if I have 3 friends playing the game, that kind of makes, maybe it makes it too easy. Maybe they're trying to make it play that way.
Yeah, I have a feeling they probably do that just to ensure that you will play the game.
Right.
Again. Because you're like, well, what did my friend do? Like,
well, it shows all your friends, not just one friend. So if there's like 8 of us playing and we all go different ways, or I'm just like...
I could be like, well, 12% made this option, but the rest of you did something else.
Exactly.
And I don't know what else. Because, yeah, like I said, it doesn't show any of those other options. It won't even put a percentage mark next to the blocked out item that you can't read. So you can't be like, okay, I see you went revolution, but you went this way, he went that way, but I don't know any of those directions. Yeah. So, yeah, say the revolution, you revolted and I protested.
Right.
Which...
And after that, you can't say anything else. It's just like, this is where you went. You can obviously tell that I didn't do this.
Right.
And that's
Everything
it.
is zero.
And it's the same thing with me where I'm like, okay, she didn't. Well, where's the other one? No, you can't see the other one because you didn't do this, so...
Yeah, but I can kind of understand why you wouldn't. Because, yeah, if I had 8 friends playing and I could see all of their choices, I might just be like, oh, well, I see what happens. Well, I don't need to play it now because there's what happens.
Yeah.
So, it's nitpicky, I think.
Holy shit!
Rating. So what would you rate this game out of 10?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
I think I would rate it an 8 out of 10. Just because of, like we mentioned in the gripes, it could have been a longer game. It could have opened up a lot of those choices. The ending for me felt a little rushed.
Okay.
You could have stretched that. Put some more fluff in there. I
So
like my fluff.
do you feel like that you may have gotten maybe just the quick ending? Because it feels like there might be, I'm guessing here, I don't know how many there are, but it feels like there could be 16 endings. And one of the endings, I feel like the longest path is the most satisfying ending because you get everything out of it. But because of the way we play, we may have gotten the 9-hour or whatever hour playthrough, whereas the longest one could have been 12 or 11.
I don't know if there even is one that's that long. I didn't personally look at my game time. I think mine's a little bit longer just because I tend to sit there and think about things for a while. I'm terrible about that. I don't know if any of those gameplays go longer. I don't know. The ones that I chose, it worked. Like, I liked the path that I chose. I liked every decision that I made to get to that point. I don't know if this game actually has a true ending path.
Okay, well, for this game, it checked off 2 of the 3 things that I always look for in games. And 1, replayability, it's definitely there.
Absolutely.
Holy crap, I'm like...
You have to replay.
Like I said, once my heart heals, I will be playing it again. And second is story.
Yes.
The story is amazing and terrifying at the same time, considering I'm a man who hates robots. We've had this discussion before, but this game had me cheering on the robots going, I want you to be happy. I want you to be free. Oh my god, what am I saying?
Right.
But the one thing this game didn't have, which I feel like if it had this, I would have given it a 10, and that's customization. Because I feel like if they took Marcus out and made him a customizable character, they could better explain why there's not this model of this robot out there. You could still go through all that stuff and still keep Kara and Connor there, and then it's you controlling how everything goes, whether you do the peaceful protest and everything else like that. And you can have that I guess that back and forth with Carl or with whoever. And to me it felt like I feel like I would be more input in the game when everyone comes to me and I'm talking to them, and then it's me. Well, I guess you still have a decision because it's really Connor's decision whether or not to go deviant or not. But I feel like if the Marcus character was taken out and it was like a hero character, like a warden or a shepherd type character, I feel like I would be more connected with that.
Right, but at the same time, my argument against that would be that why would it only be Marcus that you can customize? Because other people might empathize more with Kara or with Connor. Like I said, Connor was my favorite character.
Right.
So I really liked that aspect of his
So
story.
do you think that Connor would be a better, taking Connor out and making that character the hero?
I don't think you could really consider any anybody the hero of the story. They're definitely leaning on Marcus as the hero. My argument against customization is just that you are playing that character storyline. You can only customize so much.
I love having customization in the game, and I think I would have loved to have
Kind of a
an
personal
android, a personal character that was imported into the story that would react with the characters, whether it would be a fourth actual story that went with it, or just replacing one of the others. And to me, I felt like Marcus was so... it wasn't as in-depth. Well, I feel like Kara and Connor... Kara was just like, okay, there's a lot of heart in there. With Connor, it's kind of the same thing where it's more mind, where he's like, do I go deviant? Do I not? I'm understanding why they would, but I'm not sure. But with you, you're just kind of like, or with Marcus, you're kind of like, all right, do I go crazy and kill this guy because he's being a jerk? Or do I stand by these values that I've been quote unquote raised with, or at least that I've been shown from my master? And I feel like that would be where the hero would go in. But at the same time, I can understand what you're saying, going, well, Marcus is his own character, and you could easily put that hero or whatever character in with Connor or Kara at the same time.
Absolutely.
But for my rating on the game, I also would give it an 8 out of 10. And only because I want more customization. That's it. I want to be able, even if I could just change their clothes and how they dress through each playthrough. And I understand with Kara you can kind of do that, but that's part of the story. And I'm like, I want to be able to change something that says, this is Kevin's playthrough. That's what I want from this.
So it sounds like we're giving it mostly an 8.
Yeah.
We're giving it an 8 because we want more. Give
Exactly.
us more.
We want more. You didn't give us enough.
All right.
We want more.
That should speak for the game itself, is that we loved it so much, we enjoyed everything they gave us, that we're like, give us more. This is not enough.
Yeah, so it's more along the lines, it's short enough for casual players to enjoy.
Absolutely.
And there's a
easy
lot...
enough gameplay for casual players. to
Exactly.
enjoy.
And then you can actually have extra players, or players that like extra stuff, they can complete everything they need to complete. So you can actually... to me, it feels like it serves the best of both worlds a little bit.
Yep. Give me that story. Give me that sweet story.
Thank you for watching Laketoria Entertainment Game Discussion. Game Discussion. I would like to thank Rika for helping me out today.
You are welcome.
I'm Kevin, and as always, stay safe and watch out for bears.